And we're live. We're back with the Vacuous perspective, the Vac Pack. Is that right?
Yep. Sounds like it. I like that.
Is the Vac Pack us, or is the fans the Vac Pack?
Oh, we're the Vac Pack.
All right. So what are they then?
They're the Vac Pack fans.
The Vac Pack Pack.
The Vac Pack Pack.
Yeah. It's another level of Vac. I'm Val, joined always by Nate.
Well, straight off the bat, I mean, R.I.P. Jerry Springer.
Oh, shit.
I knew you would be deeply affected by this.
Yeah, it was your sort of prime time 12 p.m. viewing, as if you were a child in the 90s. Just before Ricky Lake comes on, Jerry Springer comes on, and it's always popping off. People are getting into fights. Steve's there breaking up the fights, the bald guy. He went on to do his own talk shows, by the way.
Did he?
Just
so wait, he's the head security guard.
Yeah, head security guard. Steve.
Yeah, okay.
Steve. People get excited about Steve.
Yeah.
And then later, sort of a lot of people started thinking it was a sort of WWE style, right? Fake. It's all fake, right? What do you think?
I wondered about that. I've wondered about that a lot, actually.
First of all, if you and me were in a relationship and I called you up and said, would you be comfortable coming on Jerry Springer? I've got something to tell you. It's not going to be good news. It's not going to be,
I've never had a good news story.
Great.
No.
Everything's great and I'm in love with you and we should, take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? They're never going to do that. It's always, I'm banging your bro or whatever.
Yeah, or worse.
Or worse.
It gets pretty awkward out there. Yeah, so
and so many times
have they ever done like a surprise wedding or anything on there? They've never had a positive one?
Surely. Yeah. Jerry's got to have done some good somewhere along the way, yeah?
Well, he did 5,000 episodes.
That's a lot of people. It's a lot of lives touched.
Well, that's what I think. I don't know if there's that many actors out there. Are there?
Of course there are, but they're not all actors.
So what, they have like 8 people a show or something like that? 6 people a show? I don't know.
Yeah.
Even more, because when the people come out on a show, I don't know if I've really watched too many of them through.
Right.
So say at the beginning of the show there's one person or 2 people or something.
Yep.
And then they introduce their husband.
Yep. The third person comes out. So they've got the 2.
Person.
They're having their spat or whatever it is, and then they bring in the third person. The big reveal.
And even more people sometimes.
Sometimes another person comes out. Yeah, they're involved somehow. I don't know.
At some point in the show, do they get removed and then new people come on, or are they on the whole show? Yeah,
No. So they'll have their situation resolved, usually by bodyguards separating them. Bit of Steve action, and then it will cut to a commercial break. Springer will do "We'll be right back." It'll be popping off, and he'll go, "We'll be right back." And then the crowd erupts. They love it. They want to see what's happening next. Then bang, you got a new person up there. Hey, what's your story? And then they've got them. They have their little thing. And then at the end, they have like a Q&A panel where all of the people are back on the stage. It's just one last opportunity for things to pop off, right? It's just – so usually it's going to be – I don't know why either of you want to be with him because he's, all this sort of stuff. That's what the crowd are doing. They're trying to rile them up again.
Yeah, okay. And the crowd has the opportunity to ask them some questions.
Yeah. Sometimes
few jabs.
Sometimes they even approach the bench. You know what I'm saying? They actually go down, because inevitably someone on the stage is going to be like, come up here and say that to my face. And then they'll go, okay. So security obviously going to, do their thing. It's great.
So I was going to ask you if they're actors or not. I was wondering if people might be trying to get famous, just get their name out there.
Is that the best avenue to do that?
Well, has anyone made it on Jerry Springer? Like,
I don't think anyone's used Jerry. I don't think anyone's successfully used Jerry Springer as a launch pad. I don't think so.
Dr. Phil, people use the Voice and whatever other singing shows.
Oh, the Voice, right?
I don't know. There's singing shows, MasterChef. People use those as platforms to become famous.
Yeah, but on those shows, you don't have to have done something pretty heinous to usually the person you love. That's usually not the premise. It's not what you're going out there for.
So you can't like win a season of Jerry Springer.
No.
Be like the most fucked up person.
No.
Had children with aliens.
I don't know what the appeal was. Was it money? Did they get paid? Was the network paying people? Was it $1,000 to tell your story on Jerry Springer? And I don't know. They just catch wind of. I have no idea.
I don't even think it's worth it. Like even $1,000, but they all seem like pretty low socioeconomic.
You think $1,000 is a good price then?
It might be.
Yeah,
it might be. Like they might be lining up. They might have a line for the crowd, the ticketed crowd people, and then they have the line of the people that want to be on the show, and they give them. But see, they actually seem to be pretty good at presenting their story.
They're definitely there. They're not. Oh, there's a chance I'll go on, or maybe I'll just be in the crowd. They're definitely in the show.
They believe their story. Yeah.
Well, no, so I've got just that. Yeah. Go on.
I've got a calculator with me today because like every week we have trouble with calculations that we want to make, and we're trying to do the mental maths.
Yeah, but you've got a calculator. I didn't know they made those anymore.
Well, to be honest, I've just got my phone and the calculator app up, ready to go. So apparently I think it was just shy of 5,000 episodes because that seems obscene.
Okay, so what you want to do is 5,000 times, say, an average of 8 or 9 characters per episode.
No, I want to know how if you did it every day. So if you do one show a day every day, which is a bit unreasonable, it's 13 and a half years. Of shows, but I think that they do multiple shows in a day. It's a bit like Wheel of Fortune. They do like 6 shows. They do the whole weeks of shows in one go.
Of course they would. You've got all the people there. You've got all the equipment running. Let's get it all done. Bit of movie magic. So when they say, sometimes though, right? Because he's like, all right, we'll see you tomorrow night, John. And if he's the carryover champ. What does he do? Just change his shirt and come back out? And they go, welcome back, John. You're still playing. And he hasn't. It's been 10 minutes or something.
Oh, yeah, it's a good point. I haven't watched enough to know.
I used to go crazy for the game shows. You know, your Price is Right.
Oh, yeah. I did like Price. That was probably one of my preferred.
Family Feud. That was a good one.
Is that the one where there's the 4 of them and you're all in the family and it's yeah. I know the one.
It's a feud between families, and it's based off surveys, based off 100 people's responses to surveys.
I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit self-conscious at the moment. It's the first time that I've made a chicken noodle soup, just a cup of soup. I don't know if it's a good idea.
You got the chicken cup noodle soup?
Yeah, well, I've got it like right in front of the mic. So I'm a bit worried about the noises coming out of me.
What, you're going to eat it? Oh, no, that's bad.
Is it?
Don't do that into the mic.
No? Could be some ASMR stuff.
Yeah, but we'd have to separate. We'd have to release that as a separate video. I know people who would watch it too.
Oh, but, man, my pug could do the best ASMR.
Yeah, but there's all
What's ASMR stand for? Is that the acronym?
Yeah, I don't know what it stands for. Audio, sensory, don't know.
Man, trust me, Luffingham emits the most glorious noises. He doesn't even know he's doing it. Like, he has no idea.
Yeah, well, just, pop a stream on, there's a bunch of, I think, moral things to do with that. Like, is it okay you've got he can't give permission.
Yeah, he's just letting these noises rip. Like, it's once he releases the noise, it's not his anymore. It's just in the air.
Yeah.
And then I capture it, and it's my noise.
Fair enough.
I actually am going to buy the best mic money can buy for 2 reasons. I can start a Luff stream, not all the time, but I can do like maybe short videos on TikTok or something.
Yep.
And I, as its secondary function, I can use it for this.
Well, I think just have it tethered to Luff, I think would be a better idea. Just have a permanent mic on, because you never know. He could do some magic.
Yeah, you might never know when he does it.
Yeah,
wait. Let me see what he's got installed. Luff, come here. Hello, come here. He's a bit weird. He doesn't like. I know it seems like he doesn't love me, but he doesn't really like being patted. It's kind of bizarre. Oh, hey.
What does he like then?
Well, he's smart. He's really smart. What he does is he will do things for food, and only for food. Make some noises, Duff. Hello. 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 Okay. I'm not sure if that came through.
I was definitely getting some dog noises. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so he's actually really smart. So he is training me because when he knows I want him to do something, he takes a look at the situation and realizes he has leverage. So he
understands.
He completely understands.
Okay.
He knows. So he goes, "Oh, you want me to do that, do you?"
Yep.
What's in it for me? And
what is in it for him?
Well, he wants food.
Is that on offer? Is that on the table?
Well, he makes it on the table.
Wow.
He puts it on the table. He's like, "Well, what are you going to do for me?" If you have food, he won't get up on the couch and sit next to you.
Mm.
He knows once you go, "Love, come over here." He looks at you and he goes, "Oh, I see what's going on here. You want me to do something?" All right. Well, and then as soon as you give him a bit of kibble, he jumps up there and he's happy as Larry.
Right.
Anyway, enough about Luffingham. There's big things that have happened.
Is there?
Yeah, there's been a few things.
Oh, good. What happened?
Let me see what we've got here. Just, things in the news, a few little tidbits that I want to discuss with you. Old time Joe Biden announcing they will rerun for an election in 2024.
Yeah, he's gone for it. No one saw that coming, right?
I thought they were trying to get rid of him.
Well, no one saw that coming in the sense that when he won the election, because he was such an old presidential candidate, they were saying, oh, but there's a good chance that he's just going to win it and then probably give it to Kamala Harris before and then let her go for it. But no, he's going for it again. So that would make him
again.
So if he gets elected, he's the oldest president for possibly forever, I'd say.
Yeah, again, he'll be the oldest president again. He'll break his own record.
Yeah, break his own record, but I think break it potentially forever.
Well, if he just took the world record for the oldest US president, as he did,
yes,
and he's going to break his own record, yeah, it does put him in a pretty elite category.
That is true.
Like if someone comes along,
if you're a two-timer at that age, sure,
you're a two-timer. Yeah, it's although, yeah, okay. So what if he wins, apparently he'll be inaugurated at 82 and he'll finish his second term at 86.
Wow.
And the average life expectancy in the US for an 82-year-old man is 6.77 years with an 8% chance of death within the next 12 months. You can't elect a man who has an 8% chance of dying in the first year. Can you?
Yeah, you can.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. He released a sweet election video.
Oh, yeah.
He's like running and real animated.
Yep. I've watched The West Wing. I get it. I get the PR. He's got to be viewed as a virile candidate who's ready to rock and ready to hit the ground running and put the aviators on and get it done for America.
Yeah, he loves the aviators. He actually rocks the aviators quite well.
And often, which I totally understand. Again, being from Perth, the land of sunglasses, I understand the need to wear sunglasses in most outdoor occasions. So I understand it. I thought aviators were like a pilot thing or a 2011 thing.
They're back.
They're back.
I didn't actually know that 2011. I thought they were one of those things that never goes out of fashion.
I think I was just guessing it was when I had aviators. There would have been a period where I had aviators.
There was a period where I wanted aviators.
Yeah. There was a period where I wanted a Matrix phone.
What's that?
You know the ones where you press a button and it flicks out? It goes click.
Yeah.
And I was looking, I look for them once every sort of 10 years or so. I'll think about it and be like, oh, yeah, it would be cool to have a flick. It's like a flick phone, but it's a mechanism that does it. So it's kind of fun. You know the one.
I reckon. Yeah, I know the one. I reckon that would have really added to Biden's election video if he whipped out
Matrix phone.
Matrix phone. I reckon he would look really like kind of cool, suave. People edgy would be like, whoa, Biden's got a Matrix phone.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually know this, but last year 54 Republicans in the House of Reps signed a letter to the White House expressing concern about Mr. Biden's cognitive state and demanding that Mr. Biden take a dementia test. The letter the letter went on to list a number of Biden's missteps and misstatements during his presidency. I mean, that was all pretty well known though, wasn't it? Because I remember as soon as he got elected, they were doing videos of him, of all his gaffes, the year before his presidency.
Yeah, and gaffes are pretty standard.
Everyone makes gaffes.
Yep, sure.
I mean,
but if you were trying to target him to say, oh, this guy's not fit, then that's what you'd be targeting, gaffes.
Some of his are pretty worrying though.
I agree.
For the president of the United States. Like, so you're going to, yeah, it's interesting. I actually quite like him. He just reminds me of an old man. I think he's lovely.
Yeah. But he was a VP. So that's the other thing.
Yeah, but he was an unknown VP. So
they're all unknown VPs.
Not Kamala.
Mike Pence.
She takes like a front seat in his election video. She's like front and center because they know that it's a joint election.
They have to do it that way. Yeah, totally.
Whereas Biden didn't even appear in Obama's election video in 2012 when he was VP. Didn't even appear. They didn't even want his face. They're like, mate, you don't bring anything to the table. Get out of the video. Get out.
Yeah, I agree. But it's also a case of Obama's not running.
Bring him back.
You can't. They wrote it in.
Yeah, they wrote it in. Can you be VP once you've been president twice? Can you be a VP?
Question.
Oh no,
Most
because then you
off.
can't get sworn in though after that. Because then they're like, mate, you say something happens to Biden, they're like, Obama, you've had your time, mate. You're gone.
Guess so.
So Biden Trump 2, the sequel, is that what's happening now?
That seems to be what is going to happen. I think that's probably what's going to happen. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone actually wants that, but that's where we're going.
It's not a great choice, is it?
Sequels are never, sequels are rarely as good as the original, and the first one wasn't very good to begin with. So
unless we're talking about the 80s, yes.
So tell me, I think you've told me before, but what are the sequels that, okay, so you got Back to the Future 2.
Bang.
That's the one, right? Isn't it?
The one where they go to the future, which was 2015? Yeah, 2015, hoverboards, other cool shit.
The name's a bit misleading though, isn't it? Oh, wait.
It is confusing. Back to the Future, yes. Because in the first one, they go to the past and then they try to get back to the future. In the second one, they go to the future, but then they change the past and they have to get back to the real current present. And then in the third one, they go back to the past to do something.
I can't remember the third one.
Third one's the Wild West one. It's brilliant.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's brilliant. So clever. Yeah, no, they're great, right? So there's Back to the Future. There's Indiana Jones. There's Bill and Ted.
I haven't watched the new one, the very new one. What's that called?
Yeah,
Didn't you tell me that's worth
Bill and Ted Face the Music is the third one. It's set after 20 years later or whatever. Keanu Reeves, Alex Winters, both back as Bill and Ted. And it's about how the plot is basically they were meant to write a song that was meant to unite the universe and they haven't yet. And they're worried now because they're old men. So, and they haven't written the song yet.
So they need to get to it.
And it's just them trying to do that. But great movie, in my opinion. It's one of those things that I would have had such high hopes for, being a huge Bill and Ted fan. I would have thought they're definitely going to fuck this up. They're going to fuck this up. So your expectations were pretty low, right?
Yeah.
And it well exceeded those, which was a good start. But I actually think it's a pretty decent movie.
Oh, I might put that on my homework.
Here's some people who have watched it and said it's good.
Yeah.
Me. My mum watched it, thought it was good.
Oh.
And my brother also thought it was good, and would likely have said it's shit, but said it was actually good. So there you go.
Well, so they wouldn't tell you the truth if they would just humor you.
It's a movie that they definitely would have locked in as it's going to be shit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So they come in with low expectations, unlike your lofty ones.
Yeah, exactly. That's well worth a watch. Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back. Great sequel.
So why did they know how to do it in the 90s, 80s, and what happened? What happened after that?
Well, I think it was because it became more about, did the last movie make money? Okay, cool, make a second one. Not there's more story to be told, or we need to flesh this out a bit more. It was just, it's a money grab, right?
Was our second episode better than the first? And should we have stopped at one? Have we fallen into the trap of sequel after sequel after sequel?
We've done a lot of episodes, but I think it is a bit different with a podcast. No, but if we were a TV series, we're getting on.
We haven't even really started yet, so that's okay in my books.
Yeah.
There's lots of things happening that we still need to talk about. And things just keep happening.
Oh, things keep happening. Yeah, that's one of the things.
And one of the things that happened is we've been testing out a lunar wheel-barrow.
Yeah. What are we doing? Just to cart shit around on the moon?
Yeah, which is kind of is weird because we had Alan Shepard on Apollo 14, the fourth one, whatever that was. Sounds about right. Oh, whichever one he was on. He had a cart. I don't know if it was for his golf clubs or not, but it did the trick back then. But now there's astronauts and scientists doing all these crazy parabolic flights, mimicking the gravity of the moon and experimenting with, two-handled wheelbarrows, 4 wheels, 2 wheels. They can't figure it out. Well, the optimal wheelbarrow, they're putting a lot of time. Like there is one, we were talking about this.
Are you saying they should be done already because they've already got they should already have it?
Alan Shepard's golf club buggy.
Yeah. Do you think maybe it's a bit bulky? Maybe they think they can get something a bit sleeker, a bit newer? The
maybe,
2023
but it's
model?
very expensive. There is one plane in the whole entire world that can do parabolic flights that can mimic gravity on other planets. So it can pull the relative G's that it needs to do, and it can give you 30 seconds at moon gravity. And so then when that happens, then they've got all the cameras going, and they have little rocks on the aircraft, and they get their little moon buggy and they start hopping along with it, and they film it to see how efficient it is.
Yeah.
You can watch this video online as well, actually.
Yeah.
These little absolute clowns. And I'm like, mate, just, I don't know how efficient it needs to be. Let's just pop some wheels on it. Figure it out.
Is this, do you reckon, to go with Artemis? Or do you think this is once the base is set up?
This is the Artemis lunar wheelbarrow. Yeah, that they're working on.
Mm.
They want it to be able to rescue injured crew members. What are they What are they planning for? Who's getting injured up there? What are they just leave them alone. They'll be fine.
Well, you think someone's going to get stretchered off on the moon? Is that what we're thinking?
Well, that's what they think.
Yeah.
I mean, can you even fall over? It's one. Wait, so the moon.
If you fell over,
it's
probably not going to hurt, right?
No. I don't think you could even twist an ankle if you wanted to up there. Because you're so light. Like your bones are designed for Earth gravity, right? Then you go up there, you're 1/6. So what you weigh? Well, say you're 100 kgs. Neither of us are. But obviously, I'll pop the calculator away now. So what's 1/6 of 100? And now I'm fucked. Okay, let's go. Say you're 60 kgs.
Yeah.
Right. That's a bit more accurate.
Yep.
And then you feel like you're 10. You couldn't hurt a fly. You probably couldn't even squash a banana if you sat on it.
Yeah. The golf balls they hit before they got back in the thing, because they'd be on the moon.
Yeah. Have you watched the video of them hitting the golf balls?
I've seen it. Yeah, I've definitely seen it. He hits 2 balls, doesn't he?
Oh, he has 4 swings, but I think he only hits 2 balls. I don't know if they were doing practice swings. You can't see the balls get hit though. They need to put the camera behind the shot so you can see where the balls go.
I know. But I don't think they were doing that. They're scientists. They're not cinematographers.
They brought up a golf club. Like, finish the job. That's actually Biden's campaign.
Finish the job?
Let's finish the job is his campaign slogan.
Okay. I like campaign slogans. I like a good one.
What's Trump's going to be?
It'll be something MAGA related for sure.
Sorry, I'm still eating my chicken noodle soup.
We're still attempting to make America great again.
We're still trying.
I don't know.
So what's been going on in your world? Anything?
No. Had a pretty, actually, space related though. Had a pretty hot take today from someone. A friend of mine said he thinks Elon will be the first Martian.
Really?
That was the predict, right?
Really? So he thinks Elon's going to go?
Yeah, well, I was the same as you, a bit befuddled by that, right? Because I'm like, nah, he's not going.
He's not going. The scientists, the engineers don't use the equipment.
Yeah. But think about it from this perspective. Let's say the Mars program's delayed by 10 years. Then say it's done 20 years. Now it's delayed by 30 years. Let's say Elon's now 75 years old. Maybe that Elon would go to Mars.
And the Earth will be way more decrepit and fucked up by then.
So his point was more, the later we go to Mars, the higher the chances are that Elon goes to Mars.
Yeah, I can buy into that. I can see that. Yeah.
If he's not spending every penny on furthering his own life through technology, then he knows his days are final. Maybe he might want to spend his last days on Mars. Who knows?
But 75 years old in 2050 might be like a 50-year-old. Yeah, it might be the new 50. Kind of, yeah. He might have plenty left in him.
But he might want to spend those plenty of years. That he might go, this is perfect. This is perfect for Mars.
Die really quickly up there. You got a lot of you got a lot of potential health problems on Mars. Like, we don't even know. We don't even know.
Yeah. No, that would be the real challenge, is sending up an old man to be the first Martian. That would be quite a challenge. Similar to the Biden thing, right? It's like a really old man trying to be president again. Now we'll have the oldest interplanetary traveler in a future Elon Musk.
And he's just got it so good here. He's fucking around with Twitter. He's like, his children hate him. He's just loving it here. I think it's fine with his children. I think that's all hype.
I did say it was a hot take, but it's a good prediction. I like to have that.
Yeah, put that one out there. Yeah, keep that one out there. Just dangle that one.
Yeah, it's out there now.
And about Mars, this week there was an unprecedented close-up of Deimos, a moon, a small moon of Mars.
Right, we got some shots of it. What did we do? Did we point the JWST?
No. The Hope Mars mission got a shot of it from as close as 100 kilometres away. Closest yet image.
That sounds pretty close.
It's pretty close. It is pretty close. It is the minimal stable orbit of things around Earth, the minimum. So the closest thing, it will start re-entering pretty soon after, but you can orbit at 100 kilometers on Earth.
Interesting.
So check that out, because there's apparently a lot of debate about the origins of this moon.
Okay, who's debating though? What's the debate?
Scientists, nerds, absolute nerds. They can't.
Yeah.
So Deimos, there's another small Martian moon called Phobos.
Yeah.
And they're both mysteries since their discovery in 1877. So what's that, 150 years ago? Still can't figure it out.
What do you mean they can't figure it out? It's there, right? So they know it's there. There it is.
They know it's there, but they're like, how did it get there? So previous studies have suggested that the moon's composition, this is at least for Deimos, could be similar to asteroids because it's potato-shaped, as you can see from the image if you're looking at it. And it's small. It's really small, much like an asteroid. So that lends its weight to being an asteroid. Mars could have snatched them as an asteroid did a flyby and just picked it up if it went too close. But its orbit is almost perfectly circular, and it travels in a way that suggests that it was previously slowed by the atmosphere of Mars. So it could have been somehow a chunk of Mars. It could be Mars itself. Yeah.
Spun itself off into
Apparently
orbit?
There's lots of... Yeah, I don't even know that can happen, right?
The speeds at which it would be moving.
I don't know how moons are formed, but apparently I'm just saying, this is what there's heaps of... Well, apparently there's numerous formation theories. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. That's a good one for ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the Deimos moon formation theories? Deimos is one of the small two moons of Mars, and there are several theories about how it formed. Here are the most popular ones. One captured asteroid. I won't go into its little... I pretty much told you what that was. A co-accretion theory. This theory suggests that Deimos formed at the same time as Mars from the same cloud of gas and dust that formed the planet. According to this theory, Deimos would have formed in a similar way to how the planets in our solar system formed.
Right, so just a bit of the dust.
Yeah, just a little bit of dust.
Bit of Mars
together.
dust.
To me, that seems unlikely, but I didn't even know of that theory until I read that then. Giant impact theory. This theory suggests that Deimos formed from debris left over after a giant impact between Mars and another object, such as a large asteroid. This is different from the captured asteroid theory. This is the giant impact theory. This impact would have thrown debris into orbit around Mars, which eventually coalesced to form Deimos. What do you think of that one?
That makes more sense.
That does make more sense, doesn't it?
But it's still talking about launching chunks of, the planet out into orbit.
Yeah, it is
wild.
But you could see how it might be dislodged then, rather than just a bit falling off. Like I was my crappy formation theory was like a piece kind of just got left behind and fell off.
Right. No, something smacking into the planet would make sense. Yeah, sure.
And then collision stripping theory. This theory suggests that Deimos was once a larger moon that was stripped of its outer layers in a collision with another object. Wait, how's that different from the giant impact theory? It was once a larger moon that was stripped of its outer layers. Oh, okay, so it was a moon.
Oh, it was bigger before.
It was bigger.
But it was bigger before, right.
Doesn't really explain how the moon was there to begin with. It just says that there was a moon and then it got stripped. But then it says this would explain why Deimos has such a low density compared to other moons in the solar system. The widely accepted theory is the captured asteroid theory.
Well, there you go.
Well, that's what, yeah.
If we're still on space, we did get an email in the week.
Look, I was almost sick of the fact that we haven't got emails until this point. I'd had a belly full, and this has just stopped me from blowing my top about it.
Wow, there you go. Well, I timed it beautifully then, because that was just about to happen, was it? Now I assume it's space related. I've only read the subject.
Yeah, I'm ready. Come ready. Wait. I just need to get, there's a tennis ball that's rolled under the couch. Luftus he's demanding it. Hold on. Nothing yet. There you go.
We really do work for the animals.
Fuck, he's going ape shit for this tennis ball. All right.
But we really do work for the animals. The animals don't work for us, do they?
Oh, definitely not.
The subject is Matthew McConaughey.
Cool. Why would you say this is relating to the moon?
It was space related, because I think we were talking about Interstellar, and I think that's why Matthew McConaughey came up.
We were also talking about him.
Brothers, the brothers with what's his name?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
The email reads, "Hello, love the pod. You guys were talking about how Matthew McConaughey turned from being a rom-com guy that appeared in a lot of average movies to a man who melts people's faces off with his acting chops and quality films. What you were discussing was the McConaugheiassance.
Ooh.
It's the McConaugheiassance. Have a look at pre- and post-2010 films he appeared in, and you'll see a moment in his life where he changed for the better. He's talked about it in interviews how he went from about 20 months without getting work before he refused to do any more rom-coms and waited until the industry would take him seriously for more dramatic roles. I love this man." So he's a big Matthew McConaughey fan by the sounds of things.
Clearly, yeah.
And I'm going to click on this link that he sent. And thank you.
This could be. Do you trust this fellow sending you links?
Yeah. I click on all the links that we get from our emails, especially ones that start with a link. But no, thank you, Dan, for the email. I'm going to click this link now, and we're going to have a look pre and post 2010 films here.
Because we didn't know what the rom-coms were, because that's not really our kettle of fish.
No. We didn't really know. We couldn't really name enough. So we're going to do actor. Hang on a sec. Why is it?
The McConaughey's. Wait.
The McConaugheiassance.
McConaughey.
Because it's
a renaissance.
Renaissance.
Yes. I want that a nater haissance.
Yeah. You'd do a renaissance.
Renaissance, there it is.
Yeah.
Maybe I can actually become good, and then everyone will be like, laugh. I'll be like, oh, there was this, there was up until somewhere in episode 48, he was a tard, and then he just was spitting gold from there on.
Right. Here we go. I think I can see exactly what happened here.
So he had 20 months off, did he? Where he just, as a...
Yeah, there's a break from 2009 to 2011. That's interesting.
So he went on an actor strike.
Well, sort of, yeah. The last film he made in that period is called The Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. It's him and what looks like Jennifer Garner in a rom-com, and it looks, just based off just the IMDb page alone, it looks trash. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Takes a couple of years off, and the first film he does coming back is The Lincoln Lawyer.
I like that.
There you go.
Was that his first one back? Imagine the pressure, right? You've gone on strike and you're like, hey, take me seriously and give me a role where I don't just make women's pants tropical.
Yes.
And then you get the role and they're like, yeah, we're going to take you seriously. You're the Lincoln Lawyer. Wait, who's the Lincoln Lawyer referring to? I've seen it. I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I think
it's a famous. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck, I should know.
I'm sure the email that emailed in is a big fan of the movie, because it was, I think, from what it seems to be, like the turning point, where he started doing more serious stuff. He's done a bunch since then. It's not all like True Detective and Interstellar. He's done a lot in between.
Yeah, Dallas Buyers Club. And he managed to get the weight loss, weight gain thing going on. You know, where they all love to show that they can eat lots.
Well, Christian Bale does. Christian Bale's a big fan of it.
Oh, he takes that. They go too far with it. They're just showing off now. They're like, not only can I do things acting. I'm an amazing actor. Yeah. I also have the discipline to do whatever I want with my body whenever I want to do it. That's just showing off.
Do you want me to get jacked? Give me 3 months. You want me to lose all that? Give me 3 months.
That's an absolute joke. Hey, yeah, I reckon we have to. I think I want to frame this Dan character's email because I want everyone to know, whoever listens to this, that they missed out on a golden opportunity. Because we've done 75 hours of content.
We've got a couple of emails.
Have we?
We've had a couple.
But they were sort of, I remember them, 2 of them were ChatGPT generated.
All right, well then we've had 4 emails.
What was the first
2
email?
ChatGPT related, 1 clear scam. And the scam. another from a listener.
The scam
regarding the test episode.
The test? Oh, okay.
So it's not the first. It's not the first email.
Yeah, but
we're still framing it. It's still going on a T-shirt, and it's all good.
We lived with him. He's basically like, family. So no, good by him. Goodbye. So we had an email. Maybe we should frame his email.
Yeah. Put it on a T-shirt.
Because otherwise these listeners are spoiled, ungrateful, unappreciative wankers, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, you're drawing the line.
Yeah, but Dan's all right. Good work, Dan.
What else we got? We got he also did The Wolf of Wall Street, which you pointed out last week. And
brilliant.
He's still done a bunch.
Okay. Well, about him, have we figured out whether he's actually related to Woody Harrelson yet? Have the DNA tests come back?
How weird is it that if there was a DNA test that has taken place that we would be privy to it, or the thought that we should know are the results back yet, like from the lab? Like, the short answer is I don't know if it's been confirmed if they're related or not. And it kind of sickens me a little bit that I can try and find out.
I actually would like it if I got a notification come up on my phone when we do know. I don't think they should have any privacy.
Yeah. I get notifications on my phone whenever it's discovered that 2 famous people or otherwise are related. So, and it's just good to know.
Well, when you get paid that many millions of dollars, you have forfeited your right to privacy.
Right, and yeah.
That's the end of it. That's the end of it. I don't care. That's if you
deal,
if you want your privacy, get a regular job. But it's Matt McConaughey's mum, is it not? That claims to have known Woody's father. So Matt McConaughey's mum apparently has been married to his dad,
right,
3 times, and divorced him twice. Make a decision. What do you like being a man that just got married recently?
Right.
I'm just thinking about their thought process. You have this moment where it was a big deal. I thought about it a lot. I was like, all right, I'm gonna marry this bird. We go along, we get married. I'm not saying we can't get divorced, right? Obviously, I think it's not going to happen. It's highly unlikely, but I'm not saying it's not a possibility. It's on the table. But what's not on the table is me then going, whoa. Actually, like getting married the first time and then going, no, that was I thought about it a bit. Like, it's not working out. We should do divorce to be happy. It's difficult. It's for the best.
Yeah, sure. I think what you're saying is that after the 3rd, 4th, 5th marriage, are you really?
No. It's getting married to the same person.
Oh, the same person.
Because Matty McConaughey's mum has been married to his dad 3 times.
Oh, you get
so think about the second time. Think about the second time. You go, whoa, I've made a huge mistake. All right.
Right.
So I've married you once. I've divorced you.
Yep. We got remarried.
I love you. Let's make it official. Let's remarry. Let's do it properly.
Right.
I love you, baby. Right. And then you get everyone together. You get the whole gang together again.
We're doing it again.
Yeah. Matt McConaughey's a bit older. Everyone's a little bit older. It's a good get together. Everyone's like, this is great. Second wedding's fantastic.
Right.
6 months later, this isn't working out for me. What have I got myself into? Like then you do a backflip again. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Sorry for wasting your time. We were right the first time. We do need to get divorced.
Right.
Do they even believe you the third time? When you tell people you're getting married, they'll be like, again? Like,
No.
you two, again?
No. Who are we talking about?
Matt McConaughey's mum.
Matt McConaughey's mum married the same bloke 3 times.
Apparently. They're still married. For now. Until they wake up one day and decide that it's all over again.
Right. So, yep.
I'm not 100% sure on this. I mean, maybe they're attention seekers.
It's good, isn't it? I mean, if your son becomes a famous actor, then your right to a private life has also been forfeited.
Yeah, well, particularly when you get married that many times. I mean, does the wedding registry even believe them now? Are these guys trolling us?
Right.
Can you imagine if she changed her name the first time, then changed it back? And then
they could have been really religious. And so every time that they, wanted to have sex, they had to get married. So if they were outside of wedlock, they wouldn't be allowed to have sex. Maybe if they were super religious, so they would go, no, it is the right time, when really they just want to have sex. So they get married, boom, 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 shake the room, and then they go, no, that was a mistake.
Well, that is a good point. But if they wanted to be like everyone else, they could just soak. Just do what everyone else.
I don't think that's everyone else.
Who are those people again? The Mormons.
Mormons, yeah.
The Mormons in there.
Well, that's
how they get around the technicalities of sex outside of marriage.
Unbelievable.
Let's just hop on. I'll get my friend to jump on the bed.
Oh my God. I'd be so nervous doing that. If I was having sex out of wedlock, be it in this weird method, wouldn't you just be worried that if you gave it one pumpy, like you're going to hell? You're just scared. You're in there, but you're thinking about damnation. Do you know what I mean? You're not thinking about how great this experience is.
Terrifying.
You're thinking, you're terrified, thinking, dude, if I fuck this up, if I get it wrong, if I make a mistake, all it takes is one slip up, I'm doomed.
You'd basically feel like you're ejaculating a demon.
Well, it would ruin it for me.
Oh, it'd be awful.
It would ruin it for me if I was just constantly thinking about my eternal soul suffering if I fuck this up.
Oh, most definitely. I've been thinking a lot about guilt, hey?
Guilt
is such a powerful driving force of emotion.
Yes, of course.
It's such a powerful, and it's baked into the oldest stories, like the original sin with Adam and Eve.
Right. Where's the guilt?
Well, that's like the original guilt. Like you live with the guilt of, you did the bad thing.
I didn't. Right.
No, she did.
Right.
I love it that it's a woman.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so hilarious.
It's so typical.
Yeah. Of the time. They're this
to just point at it's got to be. It's got to be. If something fucks up, that's how they wrote it. They just went, dude, if something fucks up, it's got to be. It wasn't the man's.
Well, maybe that's not really. We don't really know how she felt about the guilt, but I would have thought there's some guilt there.
I think they were more sorrowful, repentful.
They were unhappy that they had to now live.
They got kicked out. Yeah, they got kicked out. Yeah.
But there's got to be some guilt associated with that as well.
Yep, probably.
Because you feel you've damned the human species.
Yeah. I don't think they were quite aware of the ramifications of that. Although they were told the ramifications of that, I don't think they quite understood them at the time. However, I think the first guilt thing is probably the Cain and Abel story, right? That's the brothers, and one of them kills the other one. That's your first guilty guy.
Were they racked with guilt? Was there any evidence that they were, or was he pretty happy with it?
I think he was okay with it.
Well, I don't know about being baked into the older stories, but it's more like baked into our DNA.
As part of being a social ape, as part of being a community-based organism.
Well, this is the thing. It must serve a very important purpose.
Mm.
It must
The
make
feeling.
Yes, and it makes us more likely to behave good in inverted commas.
Is that for fear of the ramification?
Yeah, you just feel bad about things.
Yep.
You just feel bad about it.
Yep.
But it's such a powerful thing, and it stays with you.
Right.
I don't have anything that I feel super guilty about, but the guilt is just such it is just so powerful. It's so hard to rid yourself of the feeling of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I actually think there's probably, I think this is why people would benefit from talking to, I bet you, psychologists, when they get you talking, one of the things that they're trying to get to the bottom of is they're like, yeah, just keep talking about things, just talk to me. Eventually, we're going to get around to the thing that's on your mind.
Of course, the thing that you don't even know, you might not even be addressing. Obviously, you're probably not addressing it. But
you're not addressing it, but eventually if you just keep going around, it's something that's so ingrained and you think about it so much that you get to that point and you go, oh, and they'll think, oh, why do you feel like that? And then eventually that all they'd probably do is go, that's not you shouldn't feel bad about that or something. And then you're just cured. I don't know.
Yeah. I think obviously it helps talking. That's true.
Yeah, but I just think it's such a weird thing because everyone, it affects everyone unless you're a psychopath. Sometimes it might be nice to have some psychopathic tendencies.
In what way?
That you might not feel guilt.
We won't feel anything.
Oh, well, you might feel everything else just fine.
No.
No. Really? Really?
No.
Is it?
That's kind of one of the traits, isn't it?
What? So they don't?
They're not capable of emotion in the same way.
Oh, I don't know. I thought that it just might be based. I thought maybe guilt. I don't know I don't even know what it is. Right? That's the problem. What the hell is it?
What is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like you're saying, it's an evolutionary. Yeah, it's like it's a stain.
No, but I think if you're answering about a psychopath, he wouldn't feel guilty. If they were to say do a crime, they wouldn't feel guilty about that.
No. Even I think corporations feel a bit guilty sometimes.
Do they?
No, not really. But the Mattel is the company that apparently make Barbie
toys.
Yeah, Barbie doll. Have you heard that Mattel has worked with the National Down Syndrome Society in the US and released the first Barbie with Down syndrome?
I did hear about that.
Any thoughts?
It's about inclusiveness, I guess, at the end of the day. So go nuts.
Yeah. Apparently the new doll's face is rounder, has almond-shaped eyes, smaller ears, and a flat nasal bridge. It's got a shorter frame and a longer torso. The doll's palms even include a single line, a characteristic often associated with those with Down syndrome. She wears a pink necklace with 3 upward chevrons representing the 3 copies of the 21st chromosome of which they possess, as well as a pink ankle foot orthotic. They are trying to be more diverse. I mean,
yeah.
So Barbie was just released as Supermodel Barbie, right? The first one?
Yeah, Barbie would have just been Barbie.
Just Barbie.
Yep.
Just hot Barbie. Like
just blonde Barbie.
Unobtainable Barbie. Is there a fat Barbie?
You would imagine so. I don't think she's called Fat Barbie.
I mean, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I would have thought Fat Barbie would be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought. Apparently, Mattel had faced previous criticism that the traditional Barbie did not represent real women. Seems.
Yeah, but like neither does my action figure, my He-Man action figure. That wasn't very realistic either.
I know.
But I wasn't trying to be He-Man. I just wanted to play with the toys.
I agree. Sometimes
I wasn't
find
viewing my
diversity
toy as like, oh, I want to be. Of course, I want to be He-Man. That would be badass. He's got massive muscles and a big sword. That'd be badass. But I can understand. Like, it's the same as like magazines and stuff, right? Like magazines, pretty evil.
No, definitely. They say academics from the University of South Australia have suggested the likelihood of a woman having Barbie's body shape was 1 in 100,000. I actually like those odds.
Yeah, but who gives a shit what the maths is? Like, who cares?
Well, they're saying it's unobtainable and unrealistic.
Yeah,
but
it's
the
not
same
meant
thing
to be
with
obtainable.
He-Man.
She's a toy.
I know.
She's a plastic toy. You don't want to be a toy.
It's like He-Man, right? I reckon the chances of looking like He-Man would be less than 1 in 100,000.
Yeah, pretty low. But I wasn't. But I don't get it. I think it's because Barbie was being marketed as a, use it to try a look out. Because couldn't you like dress your Barbie up? I don't know. How did it work?
Yeah, I think so. They do things, and there's that other bloke Ken.
Yep.
So in 2016, because the pressure got too much for him. So in 2016, Mattel released Curvy Barbie. Oh, you know what? That's probably Fat Barbie.
Well, again, I just said they probably weren't going to call it Fat Barbie.
Yeah, Curvy Barbie, Tall Barbie, and Petite Barbie.
Are they all Barbies though? Are they all the same face?
I don't know. As well as a wide range of skin tones reflecting many different ethnicities.
Yep.
In 2022, released Barbies with hearing aid, prosthetic limb, and a wheelchair.
Yep.
Oh, mate. They released a Ken doll with the skin condition vitiligo.
Ah, yes.
What's vitiligo? It's white patches of skin appearing in different parts of the body.
Yeah.
But see, this is always the way it's going to go, right? When you're making a product, you're going to start with the one that looks
I think you're appealing. You're appealing to your base consumers, which is
So you're going to start with supermodel Barbie or just a good-looking Barbie, right? Because everyone wants a piece, right? I don't know and if the company survives. All I'm saying is if a company started up and released Vitiglio Ken, it's not going to survive. If that was their first product,
right?
Goodbye company,
right?
So you almost want to.
Are you saying for there to be sustainable change and good change, there has to be...
It's a process of evolution.
But it has to begin with unobtainable 100,000 odds body Barbie.
Well, it sold. It worked.
Yeah, it's a doll. Yep.
It was fantastic. So I don't know why everyone's got like a huge problem, because now they're now
that they've got the money and the audience,
you can have as many Barbies as you want.
All the Barbies.
You can have all the you got the hearing aid Barbie. We can do them all.
Yep.
So I don't know if they deserve all the flack. I mean, they're doing it. Good on them.
Right. Yeah. Sounds fine to me.
It's actually pretty topical, because also this week some scientists have identified the gene DYRK1A and 3 other genes responsible for facial and skull structural changes in a mouse model of Down syndrome. So they make mice with Down syndrome, which I'm not sure if doesn't sound very ethical, does it?
What do you mean they make them with it?
They give them a genetic they give them a third copy of the gene DYRK1A,
Right.
which is apparently, so yeah, using genetic engineering, scientists created mouse strains with duplications of 3 regions of chromosome 16, which mimics having a third chromosome 21. The mice show lots of traits associated with Down syndrome, including changes in the shape of the face and skull. See, I mean, it's one thing to have a Down syndrome Barbie. I mean, I'm kind of on board with that. I think that's pretty cool.
Mm.
Making Down syndrome mice.
What are they studying?
Down syndrome.
In mice?
Yeah, what are they studying?
I got to know what it's
studying?
for.
Yeah.
Because
okay, the research helps advance understanding of the genetics behind Down syndrome and may contribute to developing targeted treatments for aspects of the condition that impact health.
There you go.
And mice, you don't want to come back as a mouse, do you?
What are you talking about? Reincarnation?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, when you're genetically and when the chance of you being a lab rat seem pretty high.
Yeah, but on the other hand, presumably that's not the end either.
Oh, then you just go again. You live
you go again,
live
man.
your best life. Live your best life as a Downs mouse.
No. And then again, you live again. So maybe you copped a couple of mice lives in a row, but, greener pastures, guess what?
You're Joe Biden and you've had 60 years in politics and you're going for a second term.
Yeah, and you're wearing aviators.
Just don't know what's going on, but you're leading the world, leading the free world.
I do like a good political gaffe or political fuck up on the world stage. I like those. Whenever someone trips up the stairs, or whenever when John Howard went for that cricket bowl and just puts it straight into the deck, or when Julia Gillard stacked it.
That was a good one. Yeah, but that's more of that. Some of those things are just unfortunate, whereas Bynes are a little bit more in his control. Do you know what I mean? Like Gillard
you're talking about
once.
the words again. You're talking about words again.
Yeah,
I'm talking about just actual stacks. But no, it is a bit of a worry for sure.
I have an animal I'd like to come back as actually.
Got a new one?
Yeah, got a new one. Okay, so I flagged it last week very briefly actually. It's do you know what a nematode is? A nematode. Well, it's a nematode worm.
Right, it's a worm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, some scientists in certain places are making Down syndrome mice, but then in other places, they're getting worms high on cannabis and checking out what they do.
What do they do?
Well,
this isn't a troll, is it? Remember that video back in the day of the spiders that they gave different drugs to and it showed what they did? And the cocaine spider started moving really quickly and forming like a really, really fast web. And then the one that was high on weed built itself a web hammock.
No, this one's legit. It's a study released on 420. So I don't know if that's
probably
trolling.
Well timed. Yeah,
if that's intentional or not. But I don't know if you know about this, but
and it's not a joke website.
No, it's a legit thing done by the University of. Hold on. Where are they from?
And you want to get reborn as one of these worms so that there's a potential chance that you get to take part in the trials.
Yeah. Because it's fascinating though, because I mean, I don't know if you know this, but marijuana is well known for giving people the munchies.
Right.
And they have found that cannabis works exactly the same way on the nematode worm, which diverged from our lineage more than 500 million years ago. And so these researchers, I'm trying to figure out where they're out of. They say it's truly remarkable the effects of cannabinoids on appetites are preserved through this length of evolutionary time.
That is interesting. So did they think they had some sort of function?
Exactly.
In their diet?
Well, we have things called endocannabinoids, which are produced within us, which are a signaling molecule that react with receptors, cannabinoid receptors in our bodies. So cannabis actually just hijacks these cannabinoid receptors that we have already for other signaling molecules. Apparently does a whole bunch of things for your nervous system and digestion and
Well, what's
whatever.
it doing to the worms, giving them the munchies?
Yeah, it gives them the munchies.
And what does that mean? Do they just put a bunch of KFC in front of them and then they go nuts?
100%. They instead of KFC, they give them
What Red Rooster?
naughty food, and food that's less nutritious, but still, they would get around. And they
candy bars. Yep.
No, like more like apples. So they give them pizzas and apples, and they love the pizza.
Oh, okay.
And they spend more time on the pizza.
Right, excellent.
So they not only do they eat more, but they seem to get hungrier for the preferred foods and less hungry for the non-preferred foods.
Plus, the genre of movie they enjoy changes. They get way more into the sort of sci-fi comedy, sort of Galaxy Quest stuff.
I reckon Earthworm Jim would have been.
Earthworm Jim, yeah.
He's definitely a nematode worm that's been on the cannabis.
That'd be interesting. You find out all the animals with these receptors.
Yeah, well, if it's in this worm,
it's elsewhere.
That the point they make is it may be one of the first signaling systems, and the fact that it has maintained its fidelity for this amount of time shows how important it is.
Interesting.
It has the same effect on the animal 500 million years ago to today, and if it's very interesting. Well, that's what the scientists are saying. It's really interesting that it's truly remarkable the effects of cannabinoids and appetite are preserved through this length of evolutionary time. I just thought you'd like that. Apparently, it's got you want to know the research implications.
Of course,
because it says cannabinoid signaling is present in the majority of tissues in our body, therefore could be involved in the cause and treatment of a wide range of diseases. The fact that human cannabinoid receptor gene is functional in this nematode worm food choice experiments sets the stage for rapid and inexpensive screening for drugs that target a wide variety of proteins involved in cannabinoid signaling and metabolism, with profound implications for human health. Man, these scientists love overstating things, hey?
Mm-hmm.
They got to talk it up.
They have to.
They've been feeding cannabis to worms. That's all they've been doing. And they're like,
What have we got?
What are we got? How do we monetize this? So they're like, guys, this will have profound implications for human health.
Right.
We've just been feeding KFC to worms, high worms.
Good luck with the test later. Thank you. A bit worried. Why? Well, it's pretty much the same every week. We give them the cannabinoids, we give them the KFC, they eat it. Getting a bit worried.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Actually, cannabis has recently been made legal in Thailand. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Wasn't that a while ago?
That was June last year. So it's nearly a year, but apparently the weed-related businesses are popping off.
As you'd imagine.
Hopping off. But funnily enough, it's an executable offence in Singapore, just next door.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got to be careful with that.
So you can smoke a joint.
Yeah.
One
500
side.
meters over there. Yeah.
Put to death.
No. Yeah. You got to know the law, though.
Apparently, it's a bit of a free-for-all in that they decriminalised it.
Yeah,
but there's no real regulations. Yeah. And
I did hear about this when it was happening. There's just a lot of shops popping up, and they're sort of waiting for the regulation to catch up and just doing whatever until then.
And even the laws that are there are enforced haphazardly, apparently, if at all.
There you go.
So you just don't know what you can put money into because you're like, oh, I'm going to set up a potent gummy shop. But then they're going to bring in regulations saying, no potent gummies for you.
Yeah, correct.
Apparently they have, what do you call it? They just have marijuana-laced water.
You just drink it, really water.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. They got it in water now.
That's just taking all the fun out of it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like, just have a glass of water.
Yeah.
Actually, Faker was asked in an interview.
Yeah.
What's your favourite beverage?
Oh, yeah. He said water, didn't he?
He did.
Fucking loser.
I was impressed he had the balls to do that.
Nah, good on him. It's just not my favourite drink. And, the truth is always fine. You can always say the truth. And if that's his favourite drink, that's his favourite drink. I don't know if he's sponsored by the big water companies or not. I don't think he is. Faker being the League of Legends player. But no, he's into it. And you're into it.
Well, truth is actually, now that you say it, a really good antidote to guilt, isn't it?
Yep.
Truth is the natural medicine, the natural medicine to guilt. There was a soccer player. I don't really follow soccer.
No?
He was a big boy, though. He was like the biggest of all boys in soccer, somewhere in South America. I'm just Googling this now. And he said he was in a post-match interview and someone said, oh, mate, do you want the Coke or whatever? Because Coke was the major sponsor.
Yeah, he pushed it aside. Yeah.
And he said,
put water there.
No, Aqua. And the share price of Coke lost $40 billion in a couple minutes.
Yeah, because he's the biggest sports star on earth. It was Ronaldo, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It was Cristiano Ronaldo.
Let's find some stats on that. Coke stock drops after a slight by soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, okay, so market value dropped $4 billion.
$4 billion. Yeah, they just dropped $4 billion. They don't care though. They wear that. Is the stock price back? When was that?
It'll pop straight back, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And they probably knew. It was probably the Coke guys that shorted it. It was probably all the directors that go like, oh fuck, Ronaldo said water, not Coke. Sell. It's gonna plummet. And then it sells, the price drops and they rebuy, and now they've got the same, they've just short sold this.
It looks like they've got the standard COVID dip, which every company did basically.
Oh, so you can't see a little blip on the 17th of June, 2021?
17th of June, 2021. I mean, if I go, hang on. I can actually. Oh no, that's 2022. Say it again. June
2021.
Yeah, you can actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it like the 11th of June, around there? But no, it's still.
What date did you say? What date? Sorry.
What day did you say?
I think I said 21 June. That was the day of the article, 21 June 20.
So this is 11th of June to the 18th of June, and then it started rising up again.
The article could have been. It was just a short.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that since then, it's only gone strength to strength. So the story probably did it good in the long run anyway.
Yeah, because we're talking about delicious Coca-Cola. Oh,
exactly.
That bubbly
people
sugar. Oh, I could do with a Coke right now.
Someone watching just grabbed a Coke from the fridge because they're like, oh, fuck, I've got Coke in the fridge. I'll grab one. Someone just did that then. And that was for free.
We need some free advertising.
That was.
No, but we need him to say, Vacuous perspective.
Coca-Cola?
Or just Cristiano Ronaldo, maybe.
Oh yeah. He's like, nah, don't watch like that shit. Watch the Vacuous perspective. maybe I'll edit up an AI version of Cristiano Ronaldo rejecting another podcast and saying no, not this one.
That would be great.
The Vac. I'm a Vac Pac-Man.
I was just trying to find this stock market crash. I can't remember when it was.
Someone like 2008.
No, not that one. No, that was a legit one. There was one when, because the whole market is just a house of cards now. In that, seriously, someone accidentally put an extra zero on the end of a big share sale. So instead of selling 10 million shares, they sold 100 million. I think it was already going to be a really big sale, but the extra zero made it even bigger. And once certain things detect a significant drop in the share price, a lot of things start selling. Like there's a lot of automated processes in the background, or people watching things as well. Like there's humans as well that start detecting a drop in the market, and they try and like ride that wave. Yeah, and they had to shut the market. Yep. And they found the transaction where there was a wrong zero, and they were like, guys, they didn't want to sell 100 million shares. It was 10 billion, and they just kind of like went back. They just reversed it all and was like, no, we're all good here.
They had to.
I want to find it. Okay, so we've got examples. Tulip Mania. That was 1637. It wasn't that one.
No, that's not a stock market thing. That's actually just about tulips. Do you know about that?
I've heard about that. What was that? It says here
tulips became really valuable.
Single tulip bulbs allegedly sold for 10 times the annual income of a skilled artisan.
Yeah.
What?
Have a read about that. Yeah, get into that.
How? 10 times the annual income? Yeah. Who's buying these tulips?
One tulip, please. Oh, you've worked very hard, haven't you? Yes, I have. Very hard indeed. How long have you been saving up for this one? Well, at least the last 7 years. 7 years. What are you going to do with your tulip? I don't know. Probably just like watch it die.
Oh, my God. Tulip Mania was a period during the Dutch Golden Age when contract prices for some bulbs of the recently introduced fashionable tulip. Oh, they didn't say fashionable tulip. Of course, fashion is a whole different kettle of fish. Reached extraordinary high levels. The major acceleration started in 1634 and then dramatically collapsed in February 1637. So it took them a while. The first recorded speculative bubble.
Yep, there you go.
Man, people must have been freaking out. Was everyone growing tulips?
I would have been, yeah.
Was everyone just a tulip farmer?
Overpriced fucking pieces of shit, if you ask me. I wouldn't be seeing Dad fucking wearing a tulip. You fucking loser.
I want to grow some tulips now. Who thought they were cool to begin with? I mean, they're kind of cool. They're kind of cool.
Smart move.
Like Araluen in spring is beautiful. Tulips are fantastic.
How much can you get a tulip for nowadays? First of all, what's the annual wage of of an artisan?
An artisan. Oh yeah, but Povo artists. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
They're picking. Yeah, they probably were all starving artists anyway. So I mean, their income probably wasn't very impressive.
Even if it was like a measly amount, it's still too much to pay for a fucking tulip, bro.
Well, it was the bulb was offered for sale between this particular bulb, a Viceroy, offered for sale between 3,000 and 4,200 guilders, in brackets florins. A skilled craft worker at the time earned about 300 guilders a year.
So about 300 guilders will get you a tule.
Man, yeah, why would you be a crafts worker at that point?
No, you'd just start a tulip farm, wouldn't you?
I mean, we don't even. I mean, that tulip is worth infinitely more than what we make doing this. So maybe some of the craftsmen just like doing it. They weren't in it for the money.
Right. And they weren't saving up for tulips either, by the sounds of things. They were probably just getting by.
Maybe they were sinking all their money. They got together and they thought, hey, 10 of them got together and said, don't eat anything all year. So if we're going to save up, we're going to buy a tulip. So 10 people all got together. They saved for years and they all got together and bought this one tulip.
And then the market crashed.
And the market blew up. Okay, so that's interesting. But I'm sort of done with that. Okay, then you got Wall Street crash in 1929. That was a legit one as well. Oh, the wife's home. Hello. And then 87. I see these are all proper crashes. The COVID. Anyway, there's one where it was just an accident. They just reversed it, which is pretty cool.
Maybe it's not. It wouldn't be there then in the figures. Perhaps.
Perhaps not.
They might not have data on it. They might have overrid it.
I did the Busso 100 on the weekend.
What do you mean? What is that, 100 Ks?
Yeah, broken up. It's like it's an Ironman 70.3, but 70.3 is referring to miles, and it's an American company. So that's called everyone wants to do an Ironman, okay, which is 3.8 kilometre swim, 108 kilometre bike ride, and marathon.
Too far.
So that's whatever 70.3 times 2 is, right? And then you pay a big license fee to have the name Ironman 70.3 associated with your event and all the merch and stuff like that. And they've done away with that. And so last year they said, no, we're not paying a big licensing fee. We're just going to run an event called the Busso 100 and we're going to bring the metric system in.
Oh.
And you're going to do 100 kilometres.
Right.
We're going to do a 2K swim.
Right.
80K ride. 18K run.
Yeah, nice.
And
how was it? How'd you go?
It was good. It was probably my best performance since 20. I was really winding back the clock.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it still wasn't good relative to other people, but I beat all my sort of targets. Even made my aspirational target,
really?
Which was in the run. You nearly always blow up, and you just can't really. I can't really run fast, right?
Is that at the end as well? That would hurt. You'd be in pain by then.
Yeah. You just blow up in the ride and your legs are cooked. So running at 5 minutes a kilometre is what I would like to achieve, and I did manage to do that. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's my story.
Doing it again.
Yeah. I don't know how many times. I don't know when I'm going to hang up the boots one day. I'm not even good at it. This is the thing. I finished 40th. I think it was about 40th out of 66 in my category of the 35 to 39-year-olds.
Right. Are there there's got to be like, some hobbyists down there who don't perform well, right? They're just doing it because they can get it done.
Yeah, like people like me.
Yeah,
for sure.
Still pretty. Yeah, no, I couldn't do that. If you said we have to drive 100 Ks today, I'd just think,
you'd be like, geez, that's a long time in the seat.
That's a long way. Yeah. But actually covering the distance using my body as the vehicle, yeah, I don't like that as much.
I heard Microsoft tried to acquire a company called Activision Blizzard, which do Call of Duty and Candy Crush.
World of Warcraft.
Do they do World of Warcraft as well?
Well, Blizzard does. Oh, yeah. Diablo. Overwatch.
Shit, son. So apparently the regulator has blocked the acquisition.
Yeah, why's that?
They say it would offer reduced innovation and less choice for gamers in a fast-growing cloud gaming business.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, you need to have a certain amount of competition, otherwise you get a monopoly. So if one person they just don't allow one bank to acquire all the other banks.
Yeah, but there's not 3 game companies in the world.
Yeah, well, there's some big names there. I mean, you're talking about, I don't know how. Anyway,
well, Microsoft's been buying everything lately, right? They buy your studio and then they provide those games on Game Pass. So it's more of a subscription-based thing.
Okay.
So,
wait, so what's Game Pass? Is Game Pass? So you just pay a monthly fee to be, and then you just play whatever you want.
Yep.
So do you have to download the game onto your?
Yeah, in most cases, you can stream it. You can cloud-based stream it, most of them. But it doesn't work very well here in Australia, or at least that's my experience of it.
Okay. Apparently they're appealing it. They think it's ridiculous as well. So maybe they will get Candy Crush in the end.
There you go.
Have you ever played Candy Crush?
No, never.
Neither have I. I see people.
I imagine it's like Tetris.
Yeah. I see people on the bus playing it all the time. Just they're having a great time.
Must be great.
Oh, the best is, when they keep asking people on Facebook, you have to keep sending out a public notification that you're playing Candy Crush, or I think it's a way of getting more games or something.
Oh, sure. So they'll
Yeah.
share a link that says, hey, play Candy Crush, and if someone clicks on it, then they'll get 20 gems or whatever the currency is.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, there used to be games like that. That was the old way to play free games. It was like, sorry, you can't play anymore today. Come back tomorrow, or buy the real version, or watch this ad. Yeah, I don't really play games on my mobile because I play too many video games as it is. So I don't play any on my mobile as a sort of deal to myself. But I need to fix that slightly because I need some games to play on a plane. So
where are you going?
I'm looking. No, just for in general. Just for in general. For when you're on long flights and stuff, you need something to do sometimes. Maybe if like the TV system isn't working in the airline that you're on or whatever, you need something on your phone to be able to pass the time.
So you need a game on your phone.
I'm in the market
case you go somewhere and the entertainment system isn't working on the plane. That's
my thinking. Yeah, and you want to do it before you get on the plane because if they go, look, no internet. Right, sorry. Then you're screwed. So,
heaven forbid you're stuck with your own thoughts.
I've had that before. It's awful. I've been on a plane with no entertainment before. It was dreadful.
What'd you do?
I exhausted everything on my phone.
Oh, is this the one where there was the awkward Mile High?
I think it could have been the same one. Could have been a different one. Not sure. That was a good one though.
Well, you were feeling really sick, and oh my god.
No, that was a different one. It was that one, but I don't know who had the better flight that day.
Wait, between who? You definitely had a very poor flight, didn't you? Did you not?
Yeah, but maybe theirs was worse.
There was
the gentleman and the lady. Yeah.
Yes. There was a really, really sick photo from the James Webb Space Telescope, actually. It's called, the headline of this article is Cosmic Collision Ignites a Trillion Sun Spectacle. Google ARP 220.
ARP,
A-R-P.
Yep, seen.
Okay, so that is 2 spiral galaxies colliding with light than more than 1 trillion suns. It's collectively called ARP 220, and it's a tremendous burst of star birth.
Yep. Yeah, you got a bit of a star birth going on.
It's cold. I mean, it doesn't look as impressive. It looks cool, but it's actually cooler when someone explains to you what you're looking at. Do you know what I mean? Like when the article goes into a bit of detail.
Yeah, as opposed to just specks. There's a few specks around.
You don't even know.
Bits.
Yeah, you just like, you got no scale of how big it is and what's going on. So ARP 220 is an ultra-luminous infrared galaxy, a ULIRG, formed by the merging of two spiral galaxies. It has a luminosity of over 1 trillion suns compared with the Milky Way's 10 billion. So that's 10. So 1 trillion is 1,000 billion. So it's 100 times. It's more than 100 times brighter than the Milky Way. The collision sparked a massive star formation with about 200 huge star clusters in a compact, dusty region containing equal amounts to the entire Milky Way.
It's pretty good.
The collision of the two spiral galaxies began about 700 million years ago. It sparked an enormous burst of star formation. So the region is 5,000 light years across. So
yeah, but these are all space numbers. 5,000.
But that's 5%.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's about 600,000 Empire State Buildings across. You know, it's all once it's space numbers. You're talking 5,000 light years across, and you're like, oh yeah, all right, cool. So if we get to the edge and we want to get to the other side, then GG, see you in 4,999 years.
If you're a photon.
And yeah, traveling at the speed of light. Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
But
it's not good, is it?
I'll give you some perspective. It's about 5% of the Milky Way's diameter.
So we're bigger.
We're 20 times bigger. The amount of gas in this tiny region equal to all the gas in the entire Milky Way.
Okay, that's a bit different.
So it's really crammed in there, and it's just giving birth to a huge amount of stars. And then what was interesting about it, there was one thing, which I haven't looked into, but I just want to mention now before we wrap it up. So this ARP 220, apparently astronomers do not usually tag two merging galaxies with one name. ARP 220 is the 220th celestial object in the Atlas of Peculiar Galaxies. So that's a thing, the Atlas of Peculiar Galaxies.
Jesus. Bunch of nerds.
Published in 1966 by American astronomer Houghton C. Arp, the catalogue lists 338 uncommon galaxies whose shapes astronomers did not understand back then. A subset of the collection to which ARP 220 belongs includes galaxies that were neither spiral nor elliptical and left open the question for future astronomers to dive into. ARP 220's jumbled shape was explained when they later found that it was not one but two galaxies coalescing. Nerd.
Yep.
I'm jealous. Maybe we can review the rest of the other 338 uncommon galaxies next week.
Yeah, special episode next week. We're doing the wrap of all of the galaxies that are funky to look at and other stuff, but mainly that. But we'll see you next time. Thank you, Nate.
Thanks, mate.